All right, we have another Tropo Spotlight to share with you guys today. This time it's FetchNotes, and I have Chase Lee on the interview. Hey, Chase, how are you?
Doing great, Chris.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and FetchNotes. Who are you, and what's your company about?
Right. So I'm Chase. I'm a junior at the University of Michigan, developing FetchNotes with my co-founder Alex Schiff, also a student there at the business school with me. And FetchNotes is basically aiming to be the quickest, easiest way to capture all those little things you want to remember, simple, short notes, tasks, ideas, anything that you just need to quickly get down so that you can actually get to it at some point.
It's a beautiful design. Thank you for allowing me to join the closed beta. So how
Yep.
many people are in the closed beta, or can you say? I don't know.
Yeah. So we built a little simple metrics tracking system so that we could see things roll in, and we actually had a sort of press push earlier this week. We got into a number of outlets, including Read Write Web, Make Use of, and we saw invite links to them. So after all that was said and done, I just checked about an hour ago, and we had about 1,020 users on the web app, and we have other people outside of that trying out different things. FetchNotes is actually going to allow you to sync all of these things across all of your devices, Android, iPhone, and desktop. And so we have a number of people also demoing those apps as well. So.
Well, one thing that really impressed me about FetchNotes is just how easy it was. I mean, the UI is like dead simple. It doesn't waste your time. There's not a whole lot of options to do. It's a real kind of Ajaxy, really fluid type of a design. So it's very simple. That's what I like
Yeah,
about it.
that's one of the cornerstones of what we're trying to do. And that's some of the feedback that we found early on. We started out with a simple SMS prototype to really keep things, as simple and easy as possible. Because SMS is one of those things that people, no matter what you're doing, pretty much nowadays, most people have their phone on them. They can quickly send in a text message, and that's essentially getting that note down somewhere that's not on a little slip of paper, or in your email, or you're not texting yourself. It gives you that central sort of place to find your things. And so even we started with that early on, and we found even then that that's really what people need, is the simplest possible experience when it comes to jotting down quick things. So, we've tried to focus on that all throughout development, and after hearing back from hundreds of people that have tried out FetchNotes, that's what people keep saying over and over again, is we love how simple it is. Keep it that way. Don't clutter this up. And it's funny, we had an awesome comment earlier this week. We're using user voice to handle some feedback. And we had someone say, "Oh, well, you should give the ability to add separate titles to notes." And someone else very passionately responded, "No, don't do that. That's like, we don't need titles. That's just going to make things even more complicated. Please keep this as simple as possible." So that's really what people want, and that's what we've been trying to deliver. So.
It seems like you just put a little hashtag in with a keyword, and that's how you organize things, like from the note itself, right?
Yeah, so I mean, that's one of the problems that a lot of people encountered was, there are certain mobile apps, I'm not going to name names, but it takes 12 steps to add a tag to a note. And a lot of organization kind of revolves around the archaic note of dragging and dropping things into folders and organizing that way. And we thought, why not use hashtags? You can include them right in the note. There's nothing special about them except adding that little digit sign before a word that you want to have it organized by. And so then your organization is created on the fly, and it's associative, which is really great. So what that allows you to do is actually be able to, have multiple tags in a note. And, like I might have to-do items, and I've tagged things that way, but I might want to look at my to-dos and then only look at things for work or for school. And so I can filter down. And that's actually the ability to do that sort of nested navigation is something that we're working on right now. We'll be rolling out very soon. So,
Very
yep.
cool. So, I mean, I was on the web interface of it, and you can just start typing away, hit enter, and I like how you've added the little text note that just says hit shift and enter to actually submit the note. That's pretty
Yeah.
convenient.
Yeah, it's that's interesting. There's a lot of discussion right now going on from our users. Some people really want I just want to press enter and have it save. Some people say, no, that screws me up. I want to press shift enter, and it took getting a lot of feedback to get that right. And we found that people just wanted to be able to press shift enter to save, because it's not so disconcerting as hitting enter, because people think that's going to create a new line. So we preserved that behavior and tacked on a little shift enter. But yeah, I mean, we wanted that again to be as fast and simple as possible, so that you can type a note, hit shift enter, saves, pops right in your list, and you can see it right away. So
Cool. So let's step back a little bit. So it's FetchNotes.com, and it sounds like it's really simple note taking and organization by tags.
yep.
But it sounds like it's truly like multi-channel. I mean, you guys are going for the full experience, like multiple ways to get notes in, and I suppose to get access to notes back out. So what are you currently tackling? So you got the web. You
Yep.
mentioned SMS, and that's running on Tropo, right?
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, you guys definitely are helping us attack those channels a lot, because right now we're using Tropo to do SMS, but we don't have much to do, and we've kind of been thinking about the experience a little bit before we go ahead and push it out. But we are going to be rolling out on all the different IM networks that Tropo offers, as well as doing voice transcription of notes. So and that's one thing that I'm really excited about, because I have one of those cars with Bluetooth, and so I can actually just tell my car to call FetchNotes and then save a note that way, or have it read a list back to me. I mean, that's heaven right there. So we'll be attacking all the different IM channels, voice, SMS, but then we're also looking at integrating with a number of different products that people already love using. And one of the reasons is to really help you fit FetchNotes into your current workflow. When it comes to productivity and getting things done, people don't like to have to switch around and do all these different things all the time. You find something that works and you stick with it. But we think FetchNotes has a lot to offer to people who already have products they already love using. So we want to be able to fit into their workflow by allowing you to sync with other products like Evernote and Google Apps.
Nice.
So we'll be offering all those different sorts of integrations, and we think that there's a lot of potential for a lot of cool things there. Even just something like Google Calendar, so that you can send a note to us through SMS, have it organized for you in FetchNotes, but you can use a certain, you could use a tag like GCal or something like that, a hashtag, and you can set it up so that anything with that hashtag automatically gets added onto your Google Calendar, and we can actually use the API in order to parse that note and put it on the proper date and time. So.
Wow, that is so convenient and cool. I do a lot of driving, or I've got a lot of stuff going on. I'll have the little Bluetooth in my ear. So what I'm envisioning, tell me if this is what you're thinking of for the voice side of it. Maybe I'm driving down the road and I say call FetchNotes. My Bluetooth dials, and I get connected, and then whether I do some speech recognition, or maybe I just go right into just saying my note, and then you're saying maybe record, transcription, post. Is that kind of what's your vision around the voice side of that?
Yeah, so on the voice side of things, you'll basically just call FetchNotes, and it'll be like, hey, say your note, and you can start saying it, and it'll transcribe it. That'll hit our web server, and we'll do whatever we need to store it in the right way, or shoot it out through any other APIs. So that's exactly right. Yep.
That's cool, and I can think of maybe some instances where you might want to attach multimedia to notes. Like you might actually want that voice message in addition to the transcription. I don't know. What do you think of that?
Yeah, so that's something that we have heard a little bit from users, and it's something that we'll definitely be looking at in the future. It's not something we're currently working on. We've got a number of other exciting things that we have to finish up first to help solidify the core product, but attaching multimedia like pictures and voice recordings is definitely something that we've heard from a number of people that would be really useful. So,
hey, what about, I don't know if you guys have had a chance to look at our Phono web phone, our JavaScript web phone. I wonder if that could play a role in your web interface, like, hit a button and let it transcribe and, capture voice to text there too.
Yeah, that's something that I came across a little while ago, and actually I think I sent an email to you about it, just confirming that it was as awesome as it looked, because I was kind of like, no, this is too good to be true, and it is. So yeah, you're definitely right. That's just another thing that we could throw in there. we're really trying to keep the product as simple as possible. So a lot of that has to do with releasing things almost before, it looks like a finished, nice product. Every little thing we do is finished, but some people have said, "Oh, did you forget to do this? Because that would be really awesome." And it's like, no, we thought about it, but we wanted to hear from you guys first before we went and did it to make sure it's worth our time, that people actually want something like that, and because every little thing you add has a ton of implications for the user experience. But I definitely see where that could be an awesome addition. So,
well, I like what you said a while ago. You're almost working just as hard to keep features out of it, or to keep it simple as you are adding new features.
Yeah, I mean, when you really go and you look at all the things that they're working on now and we will be doing, it sounds like it could get really complex, and we don't want that to happen. I mean, if we're integrating with all these products, we need to find a way to keep it simple.
Yeah.
So we need to be really careful about that.
And that's the appeal that I see right now. Multimodal, multi-channel, super simple, tags built in, keywords. I mean, I think you've nailed the user experience, which is usually the most difficult side. So you're
Awesome.
doing a fantastic job. You mentioned that you're using the Tropo Web API.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, we currently use the web API, and I found it awesome to work with. Our stack consists of Tornado, which is actually a Python asynchronous web framework that came out of FriendFeed, later bought by Facebook. So we've been using the Python web API, and I found it extremely easy to work with. It's super simple. So I really can't. I have no complaints on that end. And thanks for making it. I mean, it's awesome. So.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. So and now that you've got the SMS part of the API, the rest of the channel should be pretty straightforward, because the way Tropo's designed, you kind of switch the network attribute out, to Gtalk or Yahoo or SMS, whatever, voice even. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing that we're doing is we want to validate ownership of whatever the credentials is on the individual network. So like right now, in order to validate phone ownership, you enter in your phone number on the web app, you just type it in, hit enter, we immediately send you a little 5-digit token, and then a little field appears on the web app that says, hey, that little thing we sent to you, just type it in here. So someone sends that, they type it in, push enter, bam. From that point forward, your phone number is attached to your username, and you can start texting us, just send a quick text to FetchNotes, you save the number in your phone, you're good to go.
Nice.
And so that'll be the same thing that'll cover voice, but for the other networks, we have to do the verification piece. But otherwise, yes, we can pretty much just turn those things on anytime. Voice in particular, we've had some ideas about, how we want to allow people to be able to include hashtags, because it's not like you can just say digit sign to do and have everything work smoothly like you can on a keyboard. But right now, in our interest of simplicity, we're looking at rolling out voice probably without necessarily even parsing out those hashtags, and just simply allowing you to record a note with voice, have it transcribed, and if you want, go back later and add some tags in. And we're going to see if people holler at us and say, oh, we want tags. You should be able to say, hashtag ideas, and so something like that. And so I think that's kind of the direction we're going in. And that's another one of those things where we kind of wait for people to holler at us, which works out well, because a lot of the little things are so easy to do. They holler at us, we get it done the same day and put it in there, and people are really impressed and satisfied by that. But yeah, so you're right. I mean, using the different networks is like absolutely seamless. So those things should be rolling out very soon.
Cool. Well, we really appreciate you using the Tropo platform. Love the product that you've created. It's super simple. I think that's the direction the world is moving in right now. Just multi-channel, whatever channel is most convenient to you.
Oh, Chris, I just lost you there for a second.
Oh.
I think I lost you for about 8 seconds.
Okay. It should be recording on my side, but what I was saying is I think that that's the way the world is moving right now. It's just multi-channel, whatever is the channel you happen to be in at that moment, whether it's Twitter or, you have an SMS with you on the phone, or a mobile app, or, just a voice, is convenient. Being able to get information in and out of a system by any channel is where we're all moving.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many channels that you have access to now, and so that was a big thing that we heard from people was, I have notes and I don't want them to sit in one place. They need to move around all sorts of different places, but I still want one place to look at all the things I do. And a lot of people don't have that one simplified place right now. You go to all these different places to look at everything that you own. And so, we haven't talked about this yet in our interview, but if you look on our site, one of the big things that we're working on right now that we'll be rolling out is the ability to actually make groups and easily share your notes through an @ tag. So, if let's say I'm using a GitHub integration, and I say I want everything with hash bugs or hash issues to get synced up to GitHub. So then if I get a new bug report, I can just type it up in FetchNotes, put hash bugs in there, and then say @FetchNotes, and have that bug not only go out to the bugs list on everyone on my team, so it actually goes in their list of bugs and they can see it there, but then also have it posted to our repository on GitHub. And the ability to just have your own personal view of what you have to do or your bugs, things like that to work on, but then having it synced up to your actual bug tracker up on GitHub where people can comment on it there and notifying the rest of the team about this bug. I mean, just being able to do all those things from what could amount to a simple text or voice message or even an IM. And that's super powerful, and that's something that our users are super excited about. So,
I saw the group icon there, and it says coming soon, but I didn't even think about what you were just describing. I think that is so powerful. That's clever, and it just dawned on me. You guys are students in college right now. I can imagine the applications that are use cases this has in the world of college.
Yeah, it really does. It's probably not something that's immediately the best solution right now for taking class notes. If you're taking long form class notes, things like that, FetchNotes currently isn't the best solution. There's some great stuff out there to do that with, but students are really busy and involved in a lot of different things, and usually fairly tech savvy, and so they use a lot of different services. And so, in our lives, we find this extremely useful all the time. And, we do have a number of students at the University of Michigan and other places using it that find it really useful as well. So, definitely a lot of applications there. And, University of Michigan in particular leverages, and it's sort of students are expected to have internet and to have their laptop and to be able to use all these things. So, there's a lot of possibilities there.
So how can people get invites? What's the best way for people to get into FetchNotes and start using it?
So one of the best ways, honestly, would just be to show some interest. Send me an email, and I can get you in. But if you'd like, we can actually give you invites for the Tropo blog for when this post goes up. So like I said, we had a lot of invite links go out for the press earlier this week, and so we can just give you an invite link for that. Another good way would be to reach out to us on Twitter through @FetchNotes. So those would be the best ways to get in touch with us and try to get an invite. You can sign up on the site as well, but it's a closed beta right now, so you'll go on our invite list and we'll roll out. But if you really want to get an invite, just hit us up on Twitter. Email me at chase@fetchnotes.com, or if you want, we can put a link on the Tropo blog for you. So,
yeah, well, I'll follow up with you on the link to get folks in, and maybe we'll say the first, however many you want to let in, the first ones in, get in. That would be awesome. And,
that's exactly
yep. Cool. So thanks so much for coming on and letting us spotlight you, because we think you're doing some very cool things, not only today, but hearing what's in the pipeline even with Tropo involvement has got us very excited. So hats off to you and Alex. You guys are doing some really cool things, and we're enjoying watching you guys.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Chris. You've certainly been a great help. It's not often you get to just email someone like you all the time with stupid little questions, but you've been an awesome help. We love using Tropo, and we're excited to see where it can take us and what it's going to do for us. So
cool. Thanks so much, Chase.
Yep. Thanks a lot, Chris.